Hello everybody, Pope here. I've got something a little bit different than my usual content here today. I am taking out the Object 279. So this is a Russian 8.7 event tank from the summer event, I think maybe 3 years ago. It's fairly rare, and it is incredibly strong, especially if you can avoid up tiers with it. And so here we go, starting on the north spawn on this particular map, and I am in a 9.0 game, which means that it's a very small up tier. There's only going to be 4 9.0 tanks maximum on the other team. And so what that basically means for me is, I mean, obviously you want to be a little bit careful, but for the most part, this thing is going to be a wrecking ball and a battering ram, and that's exactly how we're going to use it here. And so just to give you an idea, if you haven't seen this very much or you're not very familiar with it, this thing has a 130 millimeter main gun on it. It's a naval gun, and it's got a reload on an expert crew, which is what I've got, every 9.1 seconds. So this thing is reloading just as fast as a lot of MBTs. Yeah, it's got 364 millimeters of flat penetration. And there's a poor little M56, and I think that was overkill. I probably should have used the 14.5 and saved a round to kill him, but you know, with a 9-second reload at this battle rating, why take the chance? It's got 192 grams of TNT equivalent, which is an absolutely insane explosive mass. This thing is 60 tons with 1,000 horsepower, and yeah, it's very fast, it's very agile, it's very nimble. You feel like you're playing a medium tank that's a little bit on the quicker side as opposed to a heavy. This thing is insane. It's hell on wheels. And if you can look and see by the shape of this thing, it's got one of those very flat, pancakey Russian turrets. In theory, it's 250 millimeters of frontal turret armor. Because of the curve and whatnot, it's going to be much stronger than that. You're going to bounce a lot of shots in this thing. And right there, you know, that's an OF40. That's a 9.0 tank, and just straight through the upper front hull. Just it doesn't matter. This round is like the freaking honey badger. It just doesn't give a shit. The hull, if you can look at the shape, it's very wedgy and modular, which means it's going to bounce a lot of shots. And right near here on the left, we've got a Type 16 FPS. And yeah, APHE to that thing kills the whole thing in one shot. He didn't really have much of a chance. And so now that the ACAP is mostly secure, I'm going to take a little adventure and be a little bit careful. I don't want to, you know, be too aggressive in this thing and you know, lose it. So we're gonna go a little bit behind over towards the B cap. It looks like their team has map control in and around the B cap. We've got the C side, but it looks like they're on the A side. So I want to go behind a little bit and try to take some guys in the flank. And so there's a couple guys popping up mini-map area here. So I'm going to hang a right-hand turn here. And I've got some engine noises up to the left. I don't play this battle rating very much, so I don't know what the engine noises are. I can't tell what vehicle it is. But we're playing the Americans, so my guess is probably an M60 of some kind. And there he is right there. And boom, T-54E1, and the turret popped on that thing like it was Russian. It was doing its best Russian impression there. And so this thing right now in this battle rating is probably the equivalent of a BVM. You just press W and win. So yeah, there's not a lot of tactics or strategy to it. It's just you press forward, you find the enemies, and you shoot them. So we've got some more engine coming this direction right here. We've got a guy around the corner to the right. It's an M60. one shot him. He's done. There's a guy coming down the street. He looks like he didn't really see me, but we'll lower front plate him anyways because M60s, M48s, their upper front plate can be a little trolly at times with the angle, so you want to UFP those guys, or LFP those guys. Got an M60 or an M103 popping around. He angled at the last minute, so we just took his track, and I think he sees the writing on the wall because he J'd out immediately. He wasn't having any, he didn't want any part of the 279. And so now we've got some movement behind these little hills here. I wanted to clear my right-hand side first because this thing is vulnerable from the side. It's strong, but it's vulnerable from the side. So I want to... Ooh, that was a big bomb. Don't want any part of that. Bombs will kill this thing sometimes. So there's a turret cupola there. I shot just a tad bit low. Ordinarily, that'll go right through that cupola and one-shot the crew of that tank. But yeah, so that's enough sitting. Let's hold the W key some more. We'll take a little bit of cover behind this hill here, and there's a couple targets that we can see. Got that guy right there. Yeah, M103 shot him in the lower side. One shot kill on him. There's an M60 back there. We'll take him through the turret cheek, or an M48 rather. So that's another kill. And that's kill number 10 for me for this match. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like the match just started a few minutes ago, but by the clock, it's about 7 minutes old, the map is. This match, rather. So we are now getting close to their spawn, which is just fine. That guy took a shot from somebody on the right. We'll come around the corner, see what it is. It's an M103. Make quick work of him. I've got engine noises to the front left. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know what they are. And at this point in time, I am in their spawn zone. Like, I'm visible to them on the map. I don't generally like to be... I don't mind spawn camping when it's necessary, like when there's nobody left and you've pressed the map to its full advantage, kind of like this. I don't mind spawn camping, but I don't like to be too overt about it. I want the enemy to have an opportunity to drive far enough that they no longer have spawn protection. So it's not altruistic on my part. I don't like trying to figure out when spawn protection disappears. So I like them to be able to come out of their spawn a little bit. Make it a, it's not a fair fight. There's no such thing as a fair fight, but in any event, you want them to at least have an opportunity. So come around the corner here, and there's a bad guy right there. Missed the shot on him, but we're in a 279, so we'll just roll around the corner and don't give a fuck. Take him through the front left drive sprocket, and that's 12 kills. And at this point in time, I believe I've got enough points for a nuke. Yes, I do. So I'm debating right now whether or not to continue to rack up some spawn camp kills. I don't think they're going to make any kind of progress, but at the same time, I've got a nuke. I don't think I'm going to have time to drop it, but you know, if you go through the trouble and you play well enough to get a nuke, you might as well jump out of the vehicle and go ahead and try to drop it. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop in the IL-28. And see about getting this nuke off. There's no way. There's the ticket bleed. We've got all three caps. The ticket bleed is such that I'm not going to get there. So the interesting thing about these early nuclear bombers is that they've got ignition boosters on them. You can see it right there, and I don't use them very much, so I don't know what the control is, but those boosters help you take off faster. So they're of limited duration, and there's a control in the controls menu. It's called ignite boosters. And so if you've never seen one of those, it's on the IL-28. I don't know if the B-57, if the Canberras have them or not, but I know this particular plane does. I think a couple of now these aren't Nuke planes, but I think a couple of the ME-262s, maybe even the 163, one of the variants of that has a ignition booster as well that you can get off the runway a little bit faster. And so at about the 10-minute and 20-second mark, this match is going to end. And yeah, so that was a quick, dirty, fast, and incredibly enjoyable experience playing the 279 in only a partial up tier. And so Heavy Metal Hero, 12 kills, 1 cap, 1 death that was self-inflicted. And yeah, that's the Object 279. That is not an uncommon game in it. So that's 88,000 lions, 13,000 research points. And the snail was good to me and blessed me with $110,000 loot crate, or 110,000 lion loot crate. So yeah, Object 279. Russia 8.7, great lineup. Hope y'all enjoyed this as something a little bit different, a little bit of a change of pace. I will see you on the next one, and take care.